Okay guys, in this video we're going to be looking at ways to tailor your search before you conduct it. But first of all, we're going to look at what exactly the smile string is. And as you recall, we talked about that in earlier videos. Well, smile string stands for Simplified Molecular Input Line Entry System. It's basically a cheminformatic way of identifying a compound. And it's really simple when looking at small compounds. It's basically a linear reading of the atoms in a sequential manner. And we're start by looking at these compounds right here. You see right here we have propane. Its small string would read CCC, all uppercase. Right underneath that we have dimethyl ether. This would read COC. And as you see, when they're real small like that, it's really easy. But you have different situations, like right here with isobutanol, where you have branching parts of the compound. And branches are going to be just indicated by parentheses after the atom they branch off of. So this would read C, C, open parentheses, C, close parentheses, C, O. And as you recall, the hydrogen on the hydroxyl, it's going to be implicit. So you're just going to put O. And over here on the right, we have some cyclic systems. We have cyclohexane. And what you do with the cyclic systems, you just indicate the opening and closing the ring with a number. And so this would read C1, C, 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 C1, all uppercase. And for benzene underneath that, it's pretty much the same thing, except you use lowercase letters to indicate aromaticity. So that'd be lowercase c1, c, 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 c1. So pretty simple as you see. And they'll give you a real good basis for smile strings and how they work. Just remember, as they get bigger, they get a lot more complicated. But a good thing about the PubChem molecular jar, it's going to automatically generate your smile strings for you, so you don't have to mess around with them that much. Something to keep in mind when you have a really large compound that's too large to draw efficiently in the molecular jar, you can just do a name search for it over here on the name text and just go pull up its compound summary and get the canonical smiles. And you paste that in right in the molecular jar and it's going to generate the image for you. But anyway, we're going to be looking at this compound right here. And we're going to be looking at what the wildcard feature is. You see right there where that question mark is? That's the wildcard. And what that basically does is it serves as a point of attachment for a superstructure. And it does that in place of an implicit hydrogen, as we talked about in earlier videos. So we can have a superstructure that attaches right there at that point. As you see, we cannot put a hydrogen there. So it allows us to get a lot more results than when just relying on implicit hydrogens for points of attachment. And as you see, it's indicated as a question mark right there in the image, or as an asterisk up here within the actual smile string. Anyway, we're going to do that, and we're going to press search. And I already have the search pulled up, so I'm going to drag that in. As you see, we have over 5,000 results. We're going to go look at this succinic acid derivative right here. I'm going to pull up the 2D image. As you see right there, there's a nitrogen right there where we had the wild card. It would have been impossible to put a hydrogen right there, and we would not have gotten this result without the wildcard feature. Anyway, we're going to look next at playing around with chemical filters. And let me pull that up right here. Okay, we're back on the Substructure Search tab. We're going to go down here to the Filters option, and we're going to expand that. And we're going to go down here to Chemical Elements. And right here, we can select for elements that we want present in the superstructure. But whatever we check has to be present. It's all or nothing. So if we check 3 atoms, all 3 of those have to be present. It's not going to return any results that have just 2 of the 3. All that we select has to be present. And something else to keep in mind is you should not select the core organic elements such as carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and hydrogen. Those are automatically going to be returned each time. So what we're going to do for this one, I already have the substructure drawn. And we're going to select chlorine. Well, chlorine will be in my superstructures, and we're going to press search. And again, I already have the results pulled up, so I'm going to drag those in. It's right here. We have 91 results. And so you're going to see all these are going to have chlorine within the superstructures. You see the little green spots over here on the 2D images. Well, we're going to pull up the first result. As you see right here, you have a hydrochloric acid right down here. The chlorine is separate from the main substructure we search for. And this is basically a hydrochloric acid salt. And they're produced for different pharmacological reasons. I'm not going to get into those. But we can filter results like these out during the search. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're going to go back to the search tab. What you'll do is you go down to the filters option. You're going to go right here to properties. And you're going to limit the amount of covalent units you want available. So what you do, you set this for 1 to 1. And when you do that, you're only going to get results that have 1 unit within the results. So that would limit what we just saw. You have other options here like hydrogen bonding donors and acceptors or molecular weight. You have TPSA or topological polar surface area or tautomers. There's a bunch of different options here to play around with and lots of ways to tailor your searches. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks.